What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Avi. I'm a Santa Barbara realtor, and I love showing off Santa Barbara. And I make all sorts of videos, from house tours to the best things to do, best places to eat, the coolest spots to go, the best beaches in Santa Barbara. And I like doing these drive-along tours. It's kind of a newer style. My teammate Joe, we do a bunch on his channel, but I want to take you a drive-along tour through a couple different neighborhoods and different areas of Santa Barbara. I want to talk about, first starting off, this is Las Positas. This is, if you're coming off the highway, you take the Las Positas exit. I was driving south on the 101, and this is a really beautiful drive that leads all the way to the beach, all the way to Henry's Beach, where there's the Boathouse restaurant, really awesome dining right on the beach. And they have this brand new bike path that's all the way along here. You'll see on my right hand side, you can kind of see it. Might see some bikers. It's a little bit of a cloudy, overcast day, but they just put in this incredible new biker path. There's a biker going by, and we're going to be taking this road down to a really cool neighborhood. We're actually going to be stopping off at one of my clients' houses. I have to run a quick errand for them. They run an Airbnb out of the property because it's all the way in the coastal zone at the end of this Las Positas Road. It's in the very, I guess you'd call it almost the north section of the Mesa, or the northwest section of the Mesa. It's on a street called Vista Del Mar. So I wanted to take you guys around, talk a little bit about this area. These condos coming up here on the right, the Stone Creek condos, I have one of those under contract right now. They're 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath units, top and bottom, built in the mid 80s, and they're a great affordable option. We're about to close on one. It's in the mid 8s, and to be in the 800K range, being pretty close to downtown Santa Barbara, being close to all this amazing natural greenery, the sun's starting to peek out. Look at how green and how lush this area is. This is, we kind of venture off closer towards Henry's Beach in the Mesa. It's a great option though for a starter family or for young professionals, retirees who want to have, close access. And how nice is it that you can just take this bike path down here on the right, go all the way to the beach. Let's keep cruising around. If you were to go left around this roundabout, it would turn into Cliff Drive. We could hit Lazy Acres, Mesa Burger, a bunch of other restaurants and shops down there, some really cool houses as well. But we're gonna cruise around to the right of this, and we're gonna go up into this neighborhood, and I'm gonna show you some of the houses. So turn right. This is the extension of Cliff, and we're gonna go on to Allen Road. I believe that building right there on the right is some type of water treatment or processing plant. I always wonder what they're doing there. I think it's a water plant. And it's funny because it goes right from like a water plant into residential real estate. These are single family homes. They usually range in the $2 million to $2.5, $3 million range. This property, I believe, has been on for a little while. I'll double check the price, but I think that one's north of $3. Some of the houses are a little bit smaller, like you see on this one on the corner. Usually they're 3 bedrooms, sometimes 4 bedrooms. Tract homes built in the late 50s, early 60s. And it was kind of crazy. I remember when I first started in real estate, there were some properties here that would sell under $1 million. And now you would be really hard pressed to find anything under $2 million. That's how hot this area has gotten. One, because you're in the coastal zone, you can Airbnb it. That's obviously a huge selling point for people that want a second home, a home that's versatile, a home that they can live in or use for half the year and rent out for the other half the year and get, very, very solid rents. But also just because you're close to the beach, you're close to proximity, and it's not in a busy through street area. It's not crowded. It's very, classic suburban lifestyle. Usually there's kids, trick-or-treating areas. We're going to go to the end of this road. We're on Wade. We're going to go to the end of it, and then we're going to turn around and go up Vista Del Mar so you can get a little bit of an understanding of what it's like. We're on the backside as well of Campanile Hill. Incredible estates and properties at the top of Campanile Hill. We sold a lot there, just a piece of land that sold for a little bit over $1 million. And here's the Arroyo Burrow open space. Nice area to jaunt. You can go for little walks there that connect into more open space. That's one of the great things about living in Santa Barbara, is all the incredible open space. Look at these guys. They got a boat. I need to get a boat. if you've lived in Santa Barbara or been to Santa Barbara and you've been on a boat, you know what I'm talking about. And there's nothing better than cruising out at sunset or going fishing in the islands. Boating here is so fun. I'm actually, for my 30th birthday coming up September 6th, I'm going to be taking a boat out for a little sunset fun time. That's really stoked for that. So let's keep cruising around. You can see how it's such a nice area. There's people just walking on the sidewalks. There's not much through traffic. It's super easy to walk. We're going to go up Vista Del Mar, and it's a little bit steep, and I'm going to talk about some of the properties here because there's a couple cool ones. Take a look at this one. Wow. They've painted the exterior all sorts of funky colors. I wonder what's going on there. I don't know if you saw that. It's like all different colors. It's like an artist studio. What? They totally painted it all random colors. That's crazy. Well, okay, let's keep cruising up. It's a little hilly, especially in this section. I mean, you can walk it. You can skateboard down it if you had a helmet and you're ready to go fast. But yeah, it'd be a nice little jaunt. You get a little break of sweat. But basically, we're from this street, we're 5 minutes walk from the beach, even as we get towards the top. One of this house right here that was flipped originally, it was really, original condition, sold for, I believe it was 1.6 or 1.7, and then resold after it was completely renovated top to bottom, massive views, big slider out the back for in the mid 3s. I'm going to take you around the long way out. Let's go up this way. So these properties, as we kind of loop towards the top, they have massive views of the canyon. I'll maybe attach the link in the description to some of the houses that have sold up here recently, because you can kind of see, because right here you wouldn't really know just from seeing it, the massive view that you would have off the backside of all the open space, and kind of just like, you don't quite get the ocean. You can get some peaks through the ocean view, but you kind of see like this valley, and then it's basically like a huge like dip, and you kind of look like you're almost looking at like some backside of a mountain. Take a look back up here. It's really nice because there's all this buffer and open space. It's not like you're stacked with the houses on top of you, but I really like the street. It's really walkable. It's really mellow. It's quiet. Some of the houses are very original, and some of the houses have been completely redone, but it's kind of a sleepy little neighborhood gem here. The neighbors are super friendly. Everybody seems to get along well. And we're gonna do a full loop around and come around to the backside. That guy's got a boat as well. Properties on this street, at least, do not come up for sale often. It's definitely people hold for 20, 30 plus years. I think that because of the Airbnb laws, it's definitely a little less owner occupied than it probably used to be. It used to be like all families. There's a notice of development sign up there. That house looks pretty dated. It looks like they're going to be doing some work to it. This one's doing a big project. Wow, it looks really clean and nice. Another notice of development. I remember when this one sold at the corner, that one had some like foundation issues, and they've done some work to it as well and cleaned it up. Yeah, we're going to do a nice full loop-de-loop back around to the top. What we're seeing right now, it's the end of the month. It's May 2025 as well. I was looking at some statistics. You might find this interesting if you're following this pulse of the Santa Barbara real estate market. Inventory, so the amount of inventory and active listings is both up over 24% compared to this time last year, year to date for 2025 versus year to date for 2024. I also saw that prices were up significantly over, I believe it was 20%, but the thing is, if you exclude Hope Ranch and Montecito, prices were up about 3%, and that's year to date. So that's all the transactions from the start of the year to right now, 2024 versus 2025. So it seems like the ultra high end, that's Hope Ranch, Montecito, a lot of the stuff that's in the 10, 15, $20 million price range has continued to really move, and that other things are a little bit more stagnant, but we're still seeing, people are asking when's the price is going to come down. Hasn't happened yet. So we are now wrapping up at my client's Airbnb. A couple things to know about Airbnbs here in Santa Barbara. You either need to be in the coastal zone or a commercial mixed use zone, usually in the downtown area, to be able to get the permit. You're going to pay transient occupancy tax, TOT tax, which is usually about 14% of the stay. And then there's a couple different ways to go about it. You can either have a professional property management company handle everything. They usually will take about 20% of the gross rental fee. So let's say if someone comes to book it for $5,000, they're going to take $1,000 off the top of that. Or you can manage it yourself. My client here, they kind of manage it themselves. We have great cleaners that we recommend, and then I'll go in and check on the house, refill propane tanks here and there as well, a part of our service for a much discounted rate compared to what you would pay a traditional property management service. So it just depends on different, strokes for different folks. Some people want to be more hands-on and walk away with a little more money. Other people want to have no hassle, no worries, never have to worry about check-in, check-out, cleaning, scheduling. So they just want to have someone who will handle it all for them. Different ways to go about it, but definitely something to know that if you're not in the coastal zone, which is basically the ocean side of Cliff, this is like the one area that's not really the ocean side of Cliff because we're kind of in this special pocket. But if you're not ocean side of Cliff in the Mesa, if you're not downtown or very close to the coastal area, Montecito, you're not going to be able to do the Airbnb legally. Some people still do it. Some people try to fly beyond under the radar, but yeah, just if you want to follow the rules, those are the rules. So where we're headed now, we're going to cruise down Cliff. We're going to cut to downtown. I'm going to show you how you go from being on the Mesa to more downtown area. I live downtown, so we're going to head home, but I want to show you guys the route that I take and talk about the areas as well, give a little expertise. So going up the little hill, Cliff in the West Mesa, we're Arroyo Burro Beach, Henry's Beach as it's known, is in our rear view, and we're going up Cliff right now. The West Mesa has some of the best beaches. I love Mesa Lane. I love the Douglas Preserve. That's an amazing place to take dogs because you can have them off leash if they're well behaved. It's an awesome walking path, really cool, oversized eucalyptus trees. It's an amazing park and a zone. You can watch the sunset from the cliffs, or if you want to jump in the water, you go down the steps at Mesa Lane, go for a swim. On my YouTube channel, if you've ever wondered the best beaches in Santa Barbara, we have a video. Type in the best beaches in Santa Barbara and you'll see our video come up. And Mesa Lane is definitely on that countdown list. This is the Monroe School District. There's two schools in the Mesa. There's Washington Elementary School and Monroe Elementary School. Washington does have like the higher rankings per those public, those school ranking sites. But Monroe is very solidly ranked. I have clients whose kids go there. They really have good things to say about it. For public schools' sakes, at least, Santa Barbara is really solid. So there's two ways to get downtown. I'm coming up now on the Lazy Acres Shopping Center, as well as there's Vaughn's on my left, Rite Aid, the pharmacy. This new Indian spot just opened up, Masala SB. I think they have a location in Goleta as well, but this is their first Mesa location. We're gonna go straight. You can go left, Meg's, which turns into Carrillo, or you can continue down Cliff. I'm going to take you guys the scenic route to go check out downtown. Thai Cafe, good Mesa Thai spot right there. Little sushi spot coming up on our left, Ichiban Sushi, and church on the left. And we are on Cliff, and there are host houses that are lying right along here on Cliff, and they usually sell for a little bit of a discount compared to the rest of Mesa inventory because of all the road noise. Cliff, it's 35 miles an hour. Sometimes people are going a little bit faster than that. And that's why some of these houses on the right, you'll see they have like big hedges to try to provide privacy and a little bit of a screening from that. But still some really cool properties here. And I wish you guys could see it. I'll film it again on a very bright day when you have a huge mountain view. We're basically looking almost due, I believe we'd be looking due, it's like the south of the 101, but because the beach is really what's facing south, I believe we're looking west. No, we're gonna be looking east. I'm sorry, I'm getting mixed up. We're looking basically due southeast, and it's a beautiful view on an open day. We're kind of looking down there. You can see Montecito, Carpinteria, Summerland, that's kind of what you'd see out that little spot. But we're gonna keep cruising down. I'll just call it south just for the sake of the easiness, because we're basically paralleling the 101 now. If we're gonna go a couple streets inland, it'd be the 101 highway headed south. So this now area on the right, you'll see the density, and on the left, honestly, it turns from single family to high density really quick. Apartment complexes, townhouses. That's because we're approaching the City College. And I don't know if you knew this, but the Santa Barbara City College was ranked the #1 city college in the United States in the most recent rankings, and they get that ranking a lot. They are the #1 rated city college, community college, whatever you want to call it. People come there from all over, and a cool thing too is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe if you get a 3.5 GPA for your 2 years there, and you're in the top of, the top chunk of your class, you can automatically transfer in. You'll automatically be accepted into UCSB. So a lot of people, what they do there, I had friends that did this. I was a UCSB graduate myself. They go to City College, they save some money for a couple years, and then they transfer in with good grades to UCSB. They walk away with the same degree that I had at a very high level, top ranked public university, but they save a lot of money. And yeah, you get to live downtown Santa Barbara instead of just being in the Goleta and Isla Vista. So now we're coming into the cross section of Castillo Street. Also areas where there's some shops, kind of some old school spots. Santa Cruz Market right up here, old school shop where you can get some good meat down there. If you would go straight, it would kind of cut through and you'd end up in the funk zone. We're going to take a left onto Castillo, and we're going to cruise up. Where do I want to take you guys? I might cut across like Haley. Show you a little bit of the Haley corridor. Let's cruise through this yellow light. Whoopsies. Don't report me. That was a little bit late, but I was still yellow a little bit. Coming right up here on the left, the Santa Barbara Athletic Club. That's the athletic club I'm a part of. Really awesome club. Big outdoor pool. All the things you want when it comes to amenities, like all the weights, all the outdoor weightlifting area. They have cardio area, outdoor pool, smoothie bar, areas for coffee, areas where you can do some work if you just want to post up. Great athletic club, highly recommend. So we're going down Haley right now. I want to take you guys past Haley and State Street. You're going to see a lot of the houses here, very old school California cottages built in the 1910s, 1920s. Originally 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, 800 so square feet on a 0.1 acre lot. The houses here back in the day, in the early 1900s, people didn't have a lot of space. Some of them are a little bit bigger, some of them have been added on, some of them are duplexes, and then as you come up to Chapala, a lot of them have been completely reconstructed, and it's a lot of commercial mixed use. Here's a nice Victorian on our left. There's a really nice apartment complex further right, or a condo complex, where the 1 bedrooms, they're very luxurious, but they run 1.5 plus. Expensive HOAs, elevator in the building, really brand new amenities. I guess not brand new, but built, I believe, in like the 2010s, which for us is pretty new. Up here, Unbearable, that's a fun little cocktail lounge and like game room. And we're hitting State Street, classic pizza spot on the right and a ramen spot. This is where all the walking traffic is. I would take you up and down there, but cars are not allowed on State Street. You probably know that if you've ever been to Santa Barbara. But one thing that's good, lots of easy parking. You'll see this parking lot, like all the parking lots here, are 75 minutes free. I always forget that when I go back to my hometown of Colorado, when I go to LA, I always I'm like, oh yeah, you can get at least 75 minutes free. But I feel like in every other town, it's like first, right, just from the get-go, you're paying $5. Then, it goes up and up from there. This is the Santa Barbara Trapeze Company. Shout out to my buddy Randy, who's one of the co-founders there. That's a really cool setup where basically, whether it's kids, adults, they do camps. If you want to learn how to trapeze, that's where you go, Santa Barbara Trapeze. I remember when he called me years ago, being like, hey man, we're looking for a space for a trapeze company. And I don't know anything about trapezing. And I was like, I wish I could help you, but I have no idea what a trapeze space looks like, but they found it right there on Haley. And now we're turned up Santa Barbara Street. Something cool to note up here, this awesome new bagel spot just opened up. It's called Mother Dough, I believe it's called. I'll take a look at the sign. But I feel like we needed a bagel spot for a long time in Santa Barbara. We obviously have so many in LA. What is this place called? I need to go and try it. Yeah, Mother's Dough, organic sourdough bagels. I think it's like only open a couple days on the weekend. I think it's mostly, I don't know if it's catering or what, but that place is always popping. I need to go try it. We just passed the spot which used to be the farmer's market, and now the farmer's market is moved. The farmer's market, that was the farmer's market on Saturday. Now the farmer's market on Saturday is on State Street, and the farmer's market Tuesday is also on State Street. We have some of the best farmer's markets here in Santa Barbara. I love the farmer's market, and the Sunday one is in Goleta. I believe it's Friday in Montecito. Maybe it's Wednesday in Montecito and Friday in Cart, but just know if you ever want to hit a farmer's market, Saturday from about like 9 to 2 in Santa Barbara, and Tuesday afternoon, both of them on State Street. Coming up to some of the really old Spanish colonial buildings, you'll see right here. We just passed those. Those are really cool, kind of preserved, original style from when the missionaries were here from Spain. We're gonna go one more. I'm pretty close to my house, so I'm gonna take you guys through a couple more little streets and drive along just so you can kind of see. So we're in the downtown area. There's a lot of construction going on. I'm gonna take a right on Figueroa because there is the police station here, and as well as some really cool, I love these condos. If you see on the right, I sold one of them, Unit D. We closed for right over $2 million. We set the record for the price there. 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage. There's only 4 units in the complex. You get to walk everywhere in downtown Santa Barbara. The finishes are incredible. Yeah, 216 East Figueroa, Unit D, I believe the address was on that one. That was an amazing property. But that's the quick wrap up of the driving tour. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love just, talking about my town, giving local knowledge. If you're finding this channel for the first time, would so appreciate you hitting the subscribe button. Would so appreciate you dropping a like. And if you have questions about Santa Barbara, about moving here, about restaurants, anything like that, my contact information is in the description. Until next time, guys, make it a great day. See ya.